then we can't arbitrarily discard considering one or the other. The difficulty in amending our docs in order to protect ourselves, as you know, is that if anything we propose that affects somebody's right to rent their unit, the owners who vote for the amendment are the only ones who are bound by it. So it makes the whole thing an exercise in futility.
May I respond?
Surely.
Okay. The issue, as I see it, is the committee, the association through the committee has been functioning in a certain way for a period of time. I'm aware of it since I've been on the committee, which has been a few years. And that has been to consider income or assets. And we've been functioning that way regardless of how we're wording it in the contract. And as far as I'm concerned, it's worked. Changing that right now is changing it. And you still, as far as I'm concerned, the board can still continue as we have. Again,
Well, the problem with that, as you know, is that Mr. Samuels has insisted that we cannot continue that
well,
way.
that's one board.
I never said that.
Okay.
I never said that.
Very
I'll explain it to you.
That's one board member meeting.
I believe you were there at the morning that we discussed this, Marvin.
That's true, but even if he said that, whether he said it or didn't, that's still just two individuals. There's
No, I'll tell you what it is. The application is incorrect. When the man came in to fill out an application, it says and/or assets. It was pointed out that that is incorrect. When the application, the man signed was a virtual contract with the association that if he meets these requirements, he'll be permitted to stay here. It says and/or, so it can be taken either way. Excuse me, let me finish, then you'll talk. And then perhaps it wasn't, the documents don't say that. The documents say clearly income or assets. So you misunderstood what I said, but what you did in this one particular case is you are asking this man
one at a time so we can hear.
We have no problem. We take the word "and" out of the application. Problem is solved. Thank you. I mean, solved. It's ready. There's a remedy.
But not everyone is working. People that have saved up
People who work can't afford to live here.
good assets. So you take a person who lives on Social Security but still has a fortune and liquid assets. Why can't those both be enough?
We are saying yes, they can. One or the other, yes.
Not one or the other, but what about both and? No.
You have to look at the condo docs. The condo docs doesn't say that. It says
Or
25,000 income or 25,000
It doesn't
assets.
make
It doesn't say and that is the difference. However, in the application, they've been using the word and therefore, when they disqualified a man for $200, then that was wrong. That's the only problem. Everything is back the way Marvin had said. Just change the application.
Change the application.
Just make it or. Instead, look at the application. Marvin's right.
there you go, Marvin.
And also, just please, if you would, deal with the confidentiality issue.
I don't know how, with the sunshine laws in Florida, I don't know how we can accommodate you on that.
Very
Now, what, I can tell you one thing.
You have to research.
I think there's no reason why anybody coming to the meeting should only be observers. I don't
We used
believe.
to have closed meetings and there were private meetings. We brought the results of those meetings to the head right away. The board.
When did you have closed meetings?
Our,
When did you have closed sales of
The
it?
time you told us that we can't have it anymore, when you said.
Well, up to that time, it was illegal. Meetings have to be
That's
open.
when the closed.
And any
meetings
unit
started.
owner, department,
It wasn't that it was closed, we did.
whether they were real estate agents or anything, is entitled to attend. That's what the state law says. So you can't block your interest.
Hey, the attorney said the state law says it, okay?
No, I beg your pardon.
The attorney says that the state law says that.
Okay, this was what I meant by competing interests. In my opinion, it's in the interest of the association to hold these meetings in private. If somebody wants to sue us because we're holding this meeting in private, let them go through that expense. I don't think it's going to happen. It's in the interest, I believe, of the association and of the applicants, of both, to hold these meetings in private because the results of the meeting will be made public instantaneously.
And don't forget, when we talk about their finances, their background, it's all very personal. And everybody doesn't have to hear.
You know, excuse me, you don't have to do that, Wally. You don't have to disclose personal information. You don't have to. If someone asks a question and they ask how much salary or how much is this, you don't have to answer. No one requires you. They can ask the question.
Who's the they you're talking about?
Anybody. What kind of
The
question?
committee is talking among themselves, but they're supposed to not say anything?
The committee members are talking amongst ourselves, discussing.
The meeting members should do their work in the office and then go there to vote publicly.
Wonderful.
That's correct.
Perfect. There we are.
That is absolutely correct.
And, okay, problem solved. Okay, now, so, and I think the right to privacy goes even further because Mr. Samuels was demanding that every board member should have access to these applications and to the files. So this means that they don't have to have that because it will be private with the committee. Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, this is easy. I like this. Okay. All right, I'd like a motion, please, to accept the report of the Sales and Lease Committee as presented.
I make a motion to accept the sales and lease reports as presented.
Okay, motion made by Linda, who will second it? Seconded by Mr. Schenkel. Are there any objections?
No objection.
Unanimously passed. Sales activities, social activities. Diane. Diane? There you go.
No one on tonight.
Well, first of all, we had a committee meeting on May the 24th, and we discussed how to continue having as many activities as we could, keeping the cost as low as possible. Now, currently, Marvin is ordering the Wednesday and Saturday movies using his Netflix account. And I've been operating the DVD player to show the Saturday movie, and David continues to show the Wednesday movie. We will purchase cake for the Saturday movies at the Edelman discount store. I've added a synopsis of each movie. The synopsis comes from the Netflix with each movie, which is really easy to put in there. Also, for Marvin's suggestions, we are posting the movie posters at the clubhouse and also at the buildings, which people seem to like. Now, also, we had the big band Harvey Nevins rehearsal last Friday, and that's the first time I had heard them. They are very good. Any of you who are available really ought to come. Marvin, would you second that?
It was a wonderful 2 hours. It was a free concert.
We were all the way in the office. It was great.
And they do a lot of things from start to finish. It's not that they are constantly being interrupted. I mean, they do. Obviously, he has things to say to them, but a lot of performance in there. Now, the Memorial Day event was canceled primarily because of a low number of people who had paid for the event. And we discovered hot dogs, hamburgers, buns, and large DVDs that are available, and we plan to use these for the 4th of July party. We will have CD music, and the cost for the 4th of July party will be lower because we're not paying for an entertainer. Father's Day, which is this Sunday, the music will be by CD. We will have punch, and we discovered some leftover rum and vodka, which will be used for the punch. So it will be continue to be spiked. Okay. So everyone come out. The committee had planned to continue the Wednesday bingo. There was no bingo on June 3rd or 10th, since Phoebe was out of town and she was the one who was running it. Now, later after that meeting, it was discovered the subsidy of $50 a week for the prize money. Now, status of bingo is currently under review. Now, I take it we're not having bingo tomorrow, is that right? And we will discuss it more, I guess, at our social meeting.
Yes.
So that meeting is on the 20th, Saturday the 20th at 10:30. I think there's been a poster about that. So now I understand some people really are concerned about just how much money is in the pot and say they don't want to play unless there's quite a bit of money in the pot. Others are primarily interested in getting together with people and as a social activity will play if there's a subsidy or no subsidy. So you guys maybe want to discuss it among yourselves and see. Now, again, it doesn't seem like we can afford to subsidize this thing. There's been some talk about perhaps opening it up to some outsiders. Now that would make each round have more money, but your chances of winning are not going to be any more because there are more people, just like lottery. So if you put in $7, your chances are probably to win $7 whether there's 20 people or 40 people. But anyway, that's the status of that. I think she mentioned that yoga, there's a possibility of a volunteer. Hopefully that will work out. I believe the Aquasci, some people are getting together and doing that on their own. Maybe not quite as much as when Louise was here, but hopefully you can do that on your own. Now George helped Steve Serkine and Lisa Cochran learn how to operate that CD player there. And I think it's working fairly well now, so we will be using it. Oh, and a number of DVDs were found in the social office, more than 100 of them. I've alphabetized them and made a list. And the committee's going to discuss the possibility of lending these DVDs to residents on some kind of a checkout system. And by the way, in the library, you have a number of the older VCRs. So if you want to go take a look at what's there and borrow them, that's on the honor system. We're not going to really know whether you bring them back or not. Also, there's a heck of a lot of books in there. I don't know. I kind of think some of those books ought to get out of here, but which ones should go? We hardly have any room to put any more books in there. Maybe we should have a committee to see which books we ought to keep and which ones we ought to get rid of. But anyway, that's the social report.
Thank you very much, Diane.
I'd like to thank Diane very much.
Very, very well done.
Yeah, if you don't like what I'm doing, you can lower my pay.
We're going to double your salary. What Diane was talking about inviting others to play, we thought what we might do is place an ad in the Lauderhill, in the local Lauderhill newsletter that comes out, and invite our neighbors to come to the village to play bingo on Wednesday night. If it goes over, we could have a really nice get-together. And and, would be able to have, we're going to have decent prizes. If you had a good attendance, as I said, whatever the people want, we don't want to discontinue if people really want to have it. So that might be a very good way of continuing the bingo for the people here and creating revenue so that we can get decent prizes. And we'll try it, we'll see what happens. Nothing is carved in stone. Everything is subject to being reconsidered.
Francis, it gets to a point where you can take away everything that you bought it for.
Absolutely, you're right.
At $50 a week for bingo, when you get your neighbors come together and you say you can't afford that. We couldn't afford the social director, we can't afford coffee and cake. You want to take the water out of the pool, and what's
Well, I don't know if you're a recipient of all the hate email that goes around.
I don't know.
You don't get it.
I can't get it.
Because, we do have residents who don't feel the way you do. They think that all of this is a dreadful, dreadful waste, and it has to go into, it should go into grass seed. Okay, now this is not, it's not facetious. It's not facetious. Nobody wants to have a scraggly looking area in front of their apartment or dust blowing into their first floor patios. Things like this are very important. $50 a week adds up. As I said, sounds like nothing by the week, but by the year it's $2,600, and that's a lot of salt. That's a lot of salt. Okay? So there have to be priorities.
May I say some priorities that would take you away on things that make International Village different?
That's what we look here for.
We're not, a lot of people are not paying their maintenance. You cannot do it when you have low income. We're not meeting our income requirements. We hold our breath every month. Every month we hold our breath, hoping that we don't go into a too big a hole. This is not funny.
May I say something?
Go ahead, Sarah.
Las Vistas across the street has a full range of social activities, all run by a volunteer with volunteer committees, okay? And they're not the only ones. If we can't afford a social director, then the people of the village, you're interested in something, form a committee, do something. That's it.
Yes, thank you. But people are not volunteering. Go ahead.
My name is Hi, my name is Nellie Fickner. I'd like to applaud the board for cutting back on these endless spending that we don't need in our association. You're doing a great job, and I think what she says, that we need volunteers for social events. I'm glad you volunteer my mother, and when I'm here, I'm glad to volunteer myself. There's so many of us here that want certain things, but we should all volunteer. And I think you guys are doing a great job. I applaud you.
Thank you very much. And we have a terrible time finding volunteers. You'll see the same faces, always, volunteering to do something. We need more cooperation from the village. We really do. I have friends who live over in Las Vistas. They're very active in their associations, and they're not in great shape either. Friends of mine in one of the buildings. Each building is a separate entity over there. They're not all combined the way we are, and their maintenance has been raised, and this sort of thing. We're doing our very best not to have that happen here in the village.
Why?
That's what you gotta do. Anyone on the board there, none of you have ever been to a party. None of you have.
Yes, can we go on? Please, ladies, can we go on? That's why we have a social committee. We're going to try to do our best to have activities.
You also have an untapped resource here of building captains who for years came forward, volunteered, and did what they could to maintain cleanliness and a standard and a lack of...
And how is that working
You
now?
guys have been kicking it around now for a almost 3 years. Someone says organize, then I get a call, don't organize.
I don't know
Someone
who
says
tell you not to
start,
organize.
Then I got a call, don't start. Where are the building blocks? Where are the building blocks?
I don't know who would discourage you from this.
Mr. Howard, Ms. Gershkoff, and I don't know who else, okay? I was told start, then I was told don't start.
Well,
Then I was told we have had enough building captains for a lifetime. How's that for a quote?
May I say something? May I say something?
Yeah.
Start. Get it organized.
Now,
Yes.
or you take care of my husband.
Definitive, please. Sarah. Please.
Can I say something, please?
I have a dying husband.
I want to say something. I'm sick of what you're saying. Because last week, stains were in the rugs on our hallways. The floors in the lobbies were filthy. Okay? And they're not being maintained properly. I had to beg this man that was doing the rug, and then he turned around and lied and said he did them and he didn't do them. Okay? One of the helpers here. I begged them to clean the rugs. I had to beg them to clean the floors in the lobby.
Okay.
And we need someone to maintain our buildings. They're not being done.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Schenkel, Water Conservation.
Well, as you know, or may know, we're spearheading a water conservation program for the village. After having researched how much water we use, and pretty easy to just look at our budget, you can see that we're going to use over $400,000 worth of water here in the village this year, which is 30% more than the normal average use for this property or any other property. We use $43 a month per unit, which should be $30 a month. So we're wasting over 30% of water somewhere. So to try to address this, we are going to start a program which is a survey building by building, starting with one building and then continuing throughout the community, surveying all 832 apartments with plenty of notice before we do this, and it will probably may require a town hall meeting to address your concerns about allowing this survey. It's estimated that we're spending about $1,000 a month more per building than is necessary, and we want to avoid, of course, any further special assessments. And I just read yesterday's Palm Beach Post that Boynton Beach got an increase in their water from their city of 36%, which they identified one particular small condo of about 200 units, of which 40 are not paying their maintenance, and so that 36% increase was spread over the other 160, raising their individual maintenance substantially and creating additional hardships. Now here in Lauderdale, we currently are not facing any water increases at the moment, but Sunrise just announced one. So, before we have a water increase, there certainly is no reason to not to conserve water. The association will conduct a water conservation and flood prevention inspection for all IV units. We'll examine each unit's plumbing, air conditioner, and water heater, and install, if needed, a new master shut-off valve, free of charge, and a new toilet flapper. We're going to flush your air conditioning drain and install an AC access port, which is a simple plastic fitting that allows you access to your drain line where you can add chlorine, Clorox, or a chemical that is used to kill algae, which is what causes the blockage in your drain line. The algae builds up, and it's the system, the way it was engineered, there are actually 6 units on one line. Three floors go down to the first floor into a 2-inch pipe, and then it comes out of the back of the building where the water drains onto the grass. This is the condensation from the air conditioning in your apartments. And what happens over time, the PVC pipe being only 3/4 of an inch, generally on the first floor, it will more so than the third floor. But what we're going to do is on the third floor, we're going to clean the drain by a system that George uses, which is to take a small hose, which attaches to your hot water heater. The hot water heater line then goes into the drain line, and 5-8 minutes of hot water running through the drain will clean that drain out. And then in the future, you'll have a little access port where you can add a few ounces every couple months of Clorox, and that'll prevent the recurrence. I'm sure many of you have experienced drain clogs, and then if you're not here, like the snowbirds, and it happens, it creates damage. And we have an average of about 75 of these plumbing-related floods a year, which takes up a lot of time from our maintenance department that could be doing other things. If we go ahead with this preventive maintenance program, our maintenance department can concentrate on other things that need to be done. I've contacted Lowe's and Home Depot and their commercial departments, and they're both coming up with very, very good prices on toilets based on a volume purchase. Now, our maintenance department will install a free toilet, or new toilet for you. You buy the toilet of your choice, and we will install it free of charge. And I have a whole list of Lowe's and Home Depot readily available toilets. And I have here, yeah, well, George has given me, is working with the dimensions so that we acquire the right toilets. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but you can pass some of these around if you will. These are the history of the common toilet over the last 50 years. And this property was built in the mid-late 70s. And prior to 1980, all the toilets that were installed here were 5 to 6 gallon per flush toilets. In 1980, 1993, they came up with a 3.5 gallon toilet. Today, there's toilets that use high efficiency toilets that use as little as 1.28 gallons per flush. That's a 73% savings of water over the originally installed toilets. And the efficiency they've developed, at first some of these low water use toilets were not as efficient as they are today. But today they're rated in a way that, I don't want to go into detail, but how well it cleans the bowl with a small amount of water. There's also an option, there's a dual flush toilet available, which is used throughout Europe and the Far East, where they're a lot more conscious of resources such as water. And it has the number 1 and number 2 button on the toilet. The number 1 button is for liquid waste, and the number 2 is for solid waste. And you may think this is funny, but this is America is a little bit too far behind the times in terms of conservation of resources. It's about time that we woke up and realized that we don't have unlimited amounts of water in this world. So this is something I think we can all agree on. And it's not that we're hoping to minimize any invasion of privacy that you might think this would involve. And we're going to do it. We're doing it. There's a certain amount of cost to it, but it's a permanent improvement. If we can save 30% on water by implementing these changes, it'll be 30% every year off the bill, which comes to $100,000 a year, which we could use for many other things, perhaps more entertainment or any number of things. Just from the water we waste, we can afford a lot of other things. So we're going to be starting this program very soon. We're just about ready.